welcome to the first episode of Astrophysics according to Brady Rowe. What's my full name? And I am the host, obviously, and we are going to cover space junk. You might be wondering, what is space junk? Space junk are scraps and pieces of spacecrafts and satellites and flakes of paint that have fallen off of space shuttles, what are all just gathered up in space, just floating around, orbits in us. And now that you know what space junk is, now why is it bad for our planet? Well, space junk's very bad for our planet because there's more pieces of space junk in the atmosphere than ever before. Space junk can also travel up to 17,500 miles per hour. Even though those high speeds, there have been no instances of someone who has died from space junk, but there have been instances where people were injured or property being broke. And also, a bad thing about space junk is for how we access space and reach to space, or reach for space. Well, when we try and put more satellites and ships into space, it has a chance of being hit by space junk, and then after being broken into space junk, it turns into space junk. That's why we probably have to try and fix that. It's going to be quite hard, but we can find a way. It's also bad for astronomers trying to view space with their telescopes, and it makes it so the space junk is obstructing their view on space, so they can't see into space because of the space junk is blocking their view. So, and this is also quite a big problem, because if it's travelling 17,500 miles per hour and falls back into Earth, and a hit from a 17,500 miles per hour object could be quite fatal. So it would be very hard to fix that though, and that might be we might be stopping ourselves from ever going into space again if we gather too much space junk. And the bad thing about space junk is you try and send something up into space to stop it, and then it gets hit, and then that becomes space junk, and then we keep on slowly enclosing ourselves into our own planet, and it just wouldn't be very good for the space and astrophysics and astronomers, because then we wouldn't have the best time. We would have to try and fix it at some point, but we don't know if it's possible yet, but it could be possible. So that's the first episode of Astrophysics according to Brady Rowe. This is more of awareness of space junk kind of video. So I hope this was educational or something along those lines, and I will be doing some other stuff as well as this. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.